There have been a number of controversial news stories in Canada recently when it comes to the public education system. And many parents are concerned about what their kids are learning in schools and what they're being exposed to. So today on Second Street, we're going to be talking about some things that governments can do to give parents more choices and make sure that they're comfortable with the education that their kids are receiving. Now, many viewers will remember from earlier this year, there was a story out of Ontario in Oakville where a high school teacher, a male teacher, decided to start dressing up as a woman and identifying as a female. But what made the story really controversial was that this teacher was wearing extremely large fake prosthetic breasts. Many parents felt that this really wasn't appropriate given the way that the teacher appeared in the classroom. Many felt that this was actually degrading to women as well. Now, on the other side of Canada, in the small community of Castlegar, BC, recently parents were very upset to hear that a teacher in the elementary school brought in a drag queen to read to students through Zoom. They were upset that they didn't know about this ahead of time and that their children were exposed to this. Now, some viewers will hear these stories and think, what's the problem? It's not a big idea. They don't have any concerns. But yet, many others will be quite concerned about these types of activities happening in the classroom. So today we're going to be talking about some alternative policies. Paige MacPherson is the Associate Director of Education with the Fraser Institute, and she joins me to talk about some solutions to these issues. Paige, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Colin.
So let's start first of all with the big picture. We did some public opinion research. That was about 3 years ago, so it was before some of these stories broke and some other controversial stories. But we asked Canadians if they thought that the public education system was on the right track or wrong track over the last 20 years. And what it found was that about 40% said that they felt things had generally gone in the right direction, while about 32% said that they felt that things had gone in the wrong direction. So, it's positive that the right track numbers are higher than the wrong track, but still that's about a third of Canadians that are outright saying that they don't think things have headed in the right direction. Have you seen any public opinion research or anything that suggests that maybe this concern is a bit more widespread?
Well, I think that there is a number of reasons that parents might have concerns about the public education system, whether it is the stories that you're talking about where there's some some politicization or something along those lines that may turn off some parents, leave some parents concerned. Other parents might be totally fine with it, or whether it is academic setbacks. We know, so at the Fraser Institute, we did some polling of parents. This was in the fall of 2021. School closures had deeply impacted a lot of kids. And at that time, about 67% of parents nationally said that their kids had fallen behind to a certain extent as a result of pandemic policies, school closures, and other policies related to that. It was about 80% in Ontario. And about 1 in 5 Ontario parents said that they actually had no confidence in their child's school to catch their child up academically. So not only were they fallen behind due to these policies, they didn't have confidence in their child's school to catch them up. And when you're talking about these numbers, like 32%, you talked about that poll from 2020, 32% of parents were saying that the public school had gone in the wrong direction, or the system in general had gone in the wrong direction. When I'm talking about 1 in 5 parents of K-12 kids in Ontario, now they're parents, they're not kids, but I think when you think of it in terms of a classroom, and you're looking at a representative sample of kids in a classroom, so that's in a class of 25 kids, and then you take out 5 of those kids, and their parents are really concerned that they're so far behind and there's no plan to catch them up. That's where you start to sort of see what the impact can be in an actual classroom, and why it might be a good idea to empower parents to be able to make their own choices for what they think is best in their kids' education.